Hey, this is Steve Motor Co, and this is build number 44, a badass Honda-powered Mini inspired by fighter jets. Our customer, Paul, said, I want a Mini that is mean, badass, and I want it to be kind of an aggressive looking car. Not only was that sort of a visual thing, but it has to be like a visceral thing. It has to be something that when you drive the car, you feel like you're piloting it. And that was really important for us to get, not just the visuals, but how it makes you feel when you're operating it. We've got a D16Y8 engine with our bespoke subframe. There's a lot of little details though that went into this package that we've developed over the years. We've got our own pistons and our own connecting rods that we've developed specifically for this engine package. We're running 10.5 to 1 compression ratio with these pistons. One of the main reasons we went with our own setup with that is to get the best possible piston ring sealing, which means the best possible quality of rings. These exceed even OEM Honda levels of sealing. So not only are you getting that lightweight from the custom piston and the corrected compression ratio is slightly higher than stock, but you're getting a longevity from these bespoke parts like these piston rings. Our header is our own bespoke setup as well. It's 4 to 2 to 1 full stainless 304 header design. Again, made specifically for this kit in this car. Same thing goes for our intake manifold. We've got individual runners that go to a plenum. Inside the plenum is actually CNC'd trumpets essentially inside there to aid in airflow. Our radiator, side front mounted radiator here. This car has twin radiators. We've found over developing these cars, when you get into really hot temperatures or you're really driving it hard, having a secondary rad keeps the temperature perfectly stable. So we've got a secondary rad that runs on the back of the car underneath, and it's kind of horizontally mounted. It has a fan as well. A couple other details about the engine bay here. You can see that we've got the kind of the wiring tucked over the side here. This is all factory MPI wiring. We really like these MPI minis in terms of the way that they're put together. The wiring harness is so much nicer than the earlier cars. You actually have multi-pin fuses. On the older ones, we'll completely redo all the wiring for the whole car, including the chassis and the engine electronics. But for these MPI cars, we like to leave the factory MPI wiring harness that controls all the lights and the horn and stuff. So all that is separate. And then our engine wiring is its own complete harness. We're running a Haltech ECU as we do on all of our cars on this one. We've got coil on plug ignition. We've got a cam sensor. The cam sensor is located on the timing side of the engine. We actually make our own special plates that go onto the upper timing gear. So we get our signal from there. That allows us to eliminate the distributor and block it off. Two reasons. One is that aesthetically, it just takes up a lot of space visually and you can't run the intake pipe there. And then also it's a possible leak point. They're kind of a known failure point of these engines where it'll leak out the distributor hole. So by being able to block that side of it, we just eliminate that for future serviceability. Last kind of cool feature on this car, which we'll be doing on all our future cars, is we've got two plaques on the firewall here, one of which gives you all of your specs that you're going to need to know, your valve clearance, your oil capacity, oil type, brake fluid, all that stuff. And then the other one gives sort of specs on the car, your weight, your horsepower, your torque. So it's a cool little detail, but we're doing it on all of our future builds. This is our SMCO badge. This is the first car that's going to get this. It's got our Cracked Skull logo on it. This is actually 3D printed out of aluminum, and then we hand finish the edges, and then we hand tarnish it and bring it back so it looks like an old casting. We positioned it on the grille, so both the hood stays really clean, and also it kind of harks back to like those old E-type Jags that have the centrally mounted round badge on the grille. So I really love the way that this car drives. It's got a kind of German feeling to it. Feels kind of like a Mercedes, and the fact that it is really well damped. It feels tight, feels solid, it feels kind of heavy in a good way. It's got that kind of solidity to it, and I think a lot of that comes down to our kind of suspension wheel tire choices here. So for the tires, we're running the AO32R Yokos, really aggressive street tire, suits the kind of aggressive feeling of this car. And then we've got our own SMCO wheels. They are 10-inch, obviously, but with a 5 1/4-inch width, which gives a little bit of stretch to the tire. Not as much as a 6, where you start to ruin things like your scrub radius and stuff. So we're still able to keep the tires quite inboard, which is good for these cars. But a little bit more sidewall stretch gives a little bit more tightness, a little bit more direct steering feel. We got red spot cones, front and back with high-lows. We've got our favorite Bilstein dampers, which again, tribute to that ride quality. Adjustable control arms throughout, front, back. Braking wise, we've got Cooper S 7.5-inch rotors in the calipers with EBC pads, stainless lines, Motul fluid. We've run all rubber bushings in our suspension joints, the ones that have rubber bushings, but it's a higher durometer rubber, so this gives you kind of that tighter feeling, the response, but also takes out some of those shock loads that go through the suspension. This car rides as good as it looks. So the backside of the car here, I think, looks really classy and cool. We did kind of our signature look where we've got Mark II taillights. I just really love the amber and the red together without the white with the reverse light. Small detail, but I just think that looks so much better. For the reverse light, we made our own special little mount down here. That's kind of a front turn signal, but with a clear lens on the back. And the added benefit of that is that it actually is really bright because we've got one of our kind of projector LED bulbs in there, so you can actually see when you're going backwards. We've got an RC40 center exit with a little up kick on it. Again, like kind of classic mini stuff. And then on the back, there's no badging other than the 1590, which we did in the script of the 1275. Just a little nod. Anyone who knows will be like, hey, what, you know, they didn't come with that. So that's kind of a cool thing, showing the displacement of the new Honda engine. And then in the boot here, we did a nice feature. So we did a boot board specifically for the car. Found that a lot of the replacement boot boards you can get, they kind of wobble around. They're not actually fixed in. So we did ours with push lock fasteners, so it just sits in there really nice. It's easy to take in and out, you don't have to wiggle it. And then we've got all of our factory features like our factory MPI fuel tank, the large one, and then we've got the rear mounted windshield washer reservoir. All of it's there, obviously battery, spare tire, that kind of stuff, but really clean, tidy car in the back. So the interior of this car is really where this thing gets set off. You know, this is cool. So we spent a lot of time on the dash design particularly, as well as the seats, and then a couple small visuals throughout that all kind of tie together with this TIE fighter jet feeling. We've got a big aluminum plate that is bolted to the car with some special laser cut bent brackets. And then the plate has got a kind of a wrinkle finish on it. And then over top of that, we've got subsequent aluminum plates that have got a satin finish that have laser engraving through them. They've actually got friction positioning hinges on the bottom, as well as kind of turnbuckles on the top, so that all of the front plates can fold down and you can access all the wiring in the back. And we did this kind of for two reasons. One is from a functionality standpoint, it's really good to be able to access all the wiring should you need to get to it. But also, anytime there's a Star Wars movie and they pull the dash panel apart,
Electrical overload.
I can fix that.
Coolant's leaking.
to know that you can turn these little turnbuckles and pull it back and get to all the wiring, I think is really cool. Starting kind of from the left to the right, we've got a full sound system in this car, but we did hidden Bluetooth, so there's no head unit. We've got a MagSafe phone charger that sits right in front of the driver. It's adjustable too, so you can pull it out and put it in the perfect position so you can have your maps or your music or whatever you want right there, magnetized and being charged at the same time. And then the center of the dash is all of your instruments and your toggle switches. So we converted a lot of the factory switches to toggles, including the start sequence, which is now a push button and a toggle switch. We've got our oil, pressure, water temp, speedo, tack, voltage, and fuel. We 3D printed all of the bezels for them, and we've got special lights inside. We've got a light actually that comes on when you hit VTEC. So it just shines a red light, almost as a shift light, but not really. It's just like a fun little kind of feature. The map light is triggered by one of the toggle switches in the center. One more toggle switch in the center is something kind of cool. It's dark mode. All the lighting in this car is red so that it doesn't ruin your night vision. Again, harking back to some of the fighter jets, but we've got dark mode. So if you're driving at night and you still want your headlights on, but you want to turn all the lights off inside the car, you can flick that one switch, and that one switch will turn all the lights off inside the car only, but still keep your taillights and your headlights on. So that's kind of cool. On top of the little lamp, we've got a pen that's also a ruler, that's also a bottle opener, that's also a level, that's also a screwdriver. Just kind of a little multi-tool that's snapped in there. And a cool little hidden feature is underneath the notepad, there is a USB port. That's not a charge port, that's actually the tuning port for the Haltech computer. Everything that is a light in the car is red on the interior for night vision, and we pulled that into both the seats and the visors. So we've got our SMCO visors. The seats, steering wheel, shifter, all of that is like really dialed. We got the seating position just right. We played around with it a lot. These are based off of Kirky seats. So they're Kirky aluminum seats. We then had them sandblasted and then powder coated in a wrinkle Santex silver finish. The leather is all distressed. It's in this really cool oxblood color. We came up with this pattern where they're individual pads that are all attached with snaps that have been riveted to the seats. And these are supposed to look a lot like a ejector seat, but they fit really nice too. They're really comfortable. We've got this sort of D-shaped Momo steering wheel, which looks more like a tiller on a plane than it does a steering wheel, but it fits really nice and the driving position is just perfect. Same thing with the shifter. Got a roll cage behind me. The roll cage is also powder coated in the same color as the seats, so it all ties together. And we actually built this roll bar specifically for this car. It has some neat features, like it doesn't go into the rear pockets because this car's got the nice MPI rear pockets and we didn't want to have to cut that. So it actually curves in and it goes inside of it. It's small details, but they really add up when it comes to just like having a totally harmonious package inside the car. And you'll see when you drive this thing, it just feels special. So the first thing that hits you when you're driving this car is just how planted and solid feeling it is. These seats hold you so nicely, but they're also really comfortable. They got a lot of foam on them. The steering wheel, I love. The distance to you, we added a spacer and it's got a quick release on it to make it easier to get in and out. And it brings it right close to you so you can just, you're right there. There's no need to move your shoulders off the pads. Shifter just falls to hand. It's got a really solid feel. We got a weighted shift knob on it, so it just falls right into gear. And the whole car just feels tight. It's like all the weights are proportionate, so the pedal pressure on the gas, the brake, and the clutch are all kind of even. The steering nicely weights up. This has got a limited slip diff in the front, and you can really feel it in a great way. It kind of like, it pulls you around the corner, and then when you get to the exit, it pulls straight. And the torque, it's got so much torque. I'm barely going over 3,000 RPM, and even from here, I'm in second gear, like 1,800, and then, oh, it's fun. So this car was so fun to build and such an honor to be able to take an idea like Paul had and kind of bring it to fruition and to see his dream come true and kind of vicariously our own dream of building cars like this come true. So it was a real honor the way that the car turned out. I think it's exactly what he wanted, and that's like our job, which is really cool. And if you are interested in having a car built, feel free to reach out to us. All of our website and contact details are down below. I love to talk minis, so if you want a badass little mini, you know who to call.